Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestle News 365. Hope everyone is doing well. Now, before we get started with the video, don't forget to subscribe by clicking the bottom right hand corner. So, Cody Rhodes, the TNT Championship. This week, Cody Rhodes had his first defense of the TNT Championship against Jungle Boy on AEW Dynamite. Of course, Cody Rhodes, shockingly, was the victor there. I say shockingly in a sarcastic sense. He was always going to win. Could have done without the blood. Cody Rhodes is getting a bit of a reputation for having blood in all of his matches, and I could have done without the post-match pyro to the finish of that one. I thought that was a bit over the top. Jungle Boy looked way too happy to have lost there. I get the idea there was to make him feel like the star, elevate him to the next level. I do think they achieved that. Could have done without the whole post-match fireworks, pyro display. I mean, I love pyros more than the next guy, but yeah, it was a bit over the top there. It wasn't necessary, and like I said, it kind of felt too performance, end of the show, curtain call, etc., etc. Come on, let's make this feel real. And it just didn't feel that at the end of it. But I do like the concept of the open challenge for the TNT Championship. It's the John Cena US Championship kind of thing, and it's a great vehicle to get new talent over or get mid-card talent over. Now, Cody Rhodes has said on Twitter that the Open Challenge isn't limited to people on the AEW roster, so we could see some people outside of AEW come in for a shot at the TNT Championship. Now, that led to people already thinking about outside AEW for this TNT Championship Challenge. But I think, like I said previously, I think this championship should be a platform to get the mid-card talent over, or the younger talent that AEW sees a lot of potential in over, the AEW original talent, if you will. And that was best shown with the likes of Jungle Boy this week. Now, I don't think AEW should make the same mistake of, the TNAs, the WCWs, and just bringing in the old WWE guys over and putting them in. They need to push the people we haven't seen on WWE TV before, create them into stars. That's what is going to set AEW apart from the rest, absolutely. So I've come up with a list of who could challenge Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship, mainly AEW stars, but of course we'll throw in a few outside talents who could go into AEW also, since, look, that will happen at some point, there's no doubt about that. So firstly, Marc Quinn of Private Party will challenge Cody Rhodes this coming week on Dynamite for the TNT Championship. Apparently, this was actually scheduled to be Rey Fenix, but Rey Fenix is still injured after getting injured on the Dynamite prior to Double or Nothing a few weeks ago, which absolutely sucks because I would pay good money to see a Rey Fenix versus Cody Rhodes match. Rey Fenix, I sound like a broken record. Rey Fenix is a future world champion. He's been a single star everywhere else. Obviously, he teams with his brother, the Pentagon, who has also been a single star everywhere else. They're a great tag team. But if anything, I think they'd be better apart. They're that good, and Rey Fenix is that good at that age, and this would certainly have been a vehicle to get him over. So that sucks, and he was one of my names on this list. But I won't go in depth into everyone here. But here's a few names that I think could challenge Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. So the established names, look, I think of a Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, Chris Jericho, and I know that seems almost a little bit hypocritical since I'm saying this should be the vehicle to get the mid-card talent or the younger talent over, but you still got to look into star power for these matches, and you've still got to look, this is a new championship, you've got to have the TNT Championship be credible, and to have top stars challenge for it is the way to do that. So, to get the Cody Rhodes vs Kenny Omega match, and to get the Cody Rhodes vs Hangman Page match, and to get a Chris Jericho Cody Rhodes rematch, I think Chris Jericho, along with MJF, is the person responsible for Rhodes not being able to challenge for the World Championship. So a good way to get Cody Rhodes' momentum back, or to get his win back, would be to defeat Chris Jericho for the TNT Championship. Jericho is going to be away from the AEW World Championship for quite a while now, given that he lost it to Moxley and Moxley's moved on. So this would be a good way of having Jericho compete for a title, but let's be honest, these guys have just names. I don't think they really need the title. They're already over. Omega and Page are the tag team champions at the moment, for the time being anyway, and Jericho, he doesn't need a title. He's that big. He's the Undertaker. He's whoever. He's The Rock. He's John Cena. He doesn't need the title at this point. He's Chris Jericho. That itself is essentially being a world champion in AEW. So let's get on to a few other names, a few younger names. Darby Allen. I think Darby Allen is, again, and this is, I'm going to probably say this a few times on this list, but he's a future world champion too. He is the person I think of when I think of the perfect person that would benefit the most from being the TNT champion. He's, at the moment, he's an upper mid-card guy. He's a young guy, but he's a future world champion. And this title would definitely help elevate him to the next level. Without a shadow of a doubt. Again, this is the first person that came into my mind when I'm thinking who could benefit the most from being TNT champion. Darby Allen, without a shadow of a doubt. And I do think Darby Allen will be the one to defeat Cody Rhodes for the TNT championship. There's already been a story there, hasn't there? That Darby Allen's never been able to beat Cody Rhodes. He got the time limit draw last year. Was it Fyter Fest last year? But he lost to Cody Rhodes on Dynamite at the start of this year at Daily's Place. He lost to Cody Rhodes in the TNT Championship tournament. So he's never been able to get over the line against Cody Rhodes. But this could be his opportunity. So I think Darby Allen, Cody Rhodes is definitely a match going to happen. Dustin Rhodes. Now, the only reason I say this is because I want to see the rematch. You know, their match got Double or Nothing. The first AEW show was phenomenal. Match of the year. 5-star match. The story wouldn't be the same because it was kind of, at the time, it was two fractured brothers coming together to hash it out. And this would be different, but it'd be something worth watching. And again, I want to see the rematch of Dustin Rhodes, absolutely. Scorpio Sky. Now, he challenged Chris Jericho for the World Championship. Again, I don't want to be like, oh, break these teams up. But Scorpio Sky could be a big player for AEW. Phenomenal athlete, good on the mic. Fans like him, great in the ring. Had a great match with Chris Jericho for the World Championship. Out of the SCU trio, of course, he's the youngest and therefore the most likely to break out. Again, this would be a title that takes him to the next level, without a doubt. Jimmy Havoc. Now, I don't think Jimmy Havoc is going to beat Cody Rhodes or become TNT champion anytime soon, but Jimmy Havoc can work. This was the thing I was saying on social media this past Wednesday. I remember hearing all the criticism. Oh, Jimmy Havoc isn't going to work on TNT. He's just a deathmatch wrestler. He can't do this. He can't do that. Well, he had a great match with Kip Sabian against Page and Omega for the Tag Team Championships this week. He can work, and I want to see a Jimmy Havoc Cody Rhodes match. Why not? Why not? It's about getting that talent that hasn't been on WWE TV over. And having him in the spotlight would, without a shadow of a doubt, do that. Same here with Joey Janela. He's over with the audience. He hasn't been on WWE TV. Do I think Joey Janela is going to be the TNT champion anytime soon? No. But it's a spotlight. It's the chance. It's, hey, kid, go out there, get yourself over. And I think that's a great spotlight would be for him. Sammy Guevara. Now, he falls into the same category here for me as Darby Allen. I think Sammy Guevara is a future world champion in AEW, without a shadow of a doubt. He's a future main eventer. He has been one of the people I've probably been impressed with the most that's kind of come out of nowhere in AEW. Now, when Dynamite started, I didn't know much about Guevara, and I wasn't the hugest fan from what I'd seen on the pay-per-views from him. But his work with the Inner Circle under the tutelage of Chris Jericho has been nothing short of phenomenal. Recently on Dynamite, the bumps he's taken, the promos he's done, just an all-round character. He's beyond entertaining. And again, he was the name, along with Darby Allen, when I thought, okay, who would I like to see as TNT champion? Who would I like to see use this title to get moved to the next level? Sammy Guevara is the guy. If Darby Allen isn't the next TNT champion, I think Sammy Guevara should be. He's a guy, like I said, main event talent in a couple of years' time, world champion in a couple of years' time. He falls into that category of Darby Allen, Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara. These guys that in 5 years' time, they're going to be AEW. They're going to be big stars. They're young and they're great already. So who knows how good they could be in 5 years' time when they start to hit their peak. So Sammy Guevara is definitely in there. Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus is arguably one of the best big men that AEW have got. And AEW have got quite a lot of big men. And I know there isn't a live audience at the moment, or live fan audience anyway. But Luchasaurus is over as hell with the live audience. And we've seen bits and pieces of him. Every time it felt like he was getting momentum, obviously got injured the first time, and just things have just sort of slowed down a bit with him. And maybe it's because of the gimmick, maybe it's because the character is slightly too cartoonish. But in AEW that can work. And again, it goes back to, would I like to see a Cody Rhodes vs Luchasaurus match? Yeah. I'd like to see the spotlight put on Luchasaurus. I'd like to see Luchasaurus get a shot. And I'd like to see Luchasaurus go out there and get himself even more over than he already is. He doesn't need to be babyface versus heel every time. Cody Rhodes won't care. I don't think Luchasaurus is going to beat Cody Rhodes. But again, it's an opportunity to get himself even more over. It's an opportunity to, on a national level television show, to put himself to the next level. And I think that's absolutely right. MJF. Now, MJF, for me, should be competing for the world title anyway, but considering he was the person to last beat Cody Rhodes, shouldn't he be competing for the TNT Championship? No, I don't think they will. I think they'll keep them quite, far apart at this point because I just don't think MJF should be doing jobs at the moment. He's momentum is too strong, and if he faces Cody Rhodes this early in the TNT Championship run, that means basically that Cody Rhodes has to win. So I'd like to see it, but I don't think it will happen anytime soon. So a couple other names. I've got a million names written down here, but we should probably move on because I don't want to be talking about this forever. What about Pac? When Pac comes back, I'd love to see a Pac versus Cody Rhodes match. How great would that match be? Now, we don't know when Pac is going to come back. He's over here in the UK, and there has been like a movement with that at the moment that people can travel now overseas if they're athletes, but I think AEW and WWE, they're quite cautious about bringing people over because they're going to have to go back eventually. So it's a strange case there, isn't it? So Pac, I'd love to see it, but that one looks like it's going to be in the future, doesn't it? Lucha Brothers, I mentioned Rey Fenix. Pentagon Jr. Pentagon Jr. is a former world champion in several places. Pentagon Jr. is a tremendous worker. He made his name originally in the single star. People almost forget about that now with the Lucha Brothers, that they made their names as single stars and then came together as a tag team. But Pentagon Jr., I'd love to see him work more as a single in AEW. For the longest time, he was wanted by WWE and NXT as a single star. So I would love to see him work more as a single star in AEW. He's another one. He's over in Mexico at the moment. So if and when he can come back. But when he can come back, I'd love to see him face Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. I'd love to see that match. I'd love to see that feud. Maybe I wouldn't want to just see a one-off. I'd love to see that feud. What about Shawn Spears? You got the black glove this past week on Dynamite from, Tully Blanchard, and it's similar to the likes of Ted DiBiase, the Blackjacks, Barry Windham, whoever. I mentioned at the time, is it a dated gimmick? Probably. And I'm not just saying that because that's from, the 80s or anything like that, or the 70s or whenever it's from. I'm just saying it's a bit of a dated gimmick. That doesn't mean it can't work. What's old is new. So I'm not saying it can't work at all. It just feels like at this point, Shawn Spears is the man of a million gimmicks, isn't he? The Black Glove is a tag team, it's the chairman, it's the 10, It's throwing things at the wall and seeing what will stick. Maybe that's just professional wrestling, though. And obviously he has the history with Cody Rhodes, so that could be in there also. So outside WWE, because that's the one people will talk about, who are they going to bring in? When it should be about getting the stars that are already on the roster over. The biggest name, of course, is Rusev. People are kind of assuming it's a formality of when Rusev will appear in AEW. And I think that probably is the case, to be honest. Rusev is, I wouldn't say a huge star, but he was a big star at one point on the WWE roster. He had a WrestleMania match against John Cena, went undefeated for a year, entered WrestleMania in a tank. The whole, Vladimir Putin Russian angle, even though he's from Bulgaria, you just forget about that. But at one point, he was a big star, and WWE had big plans for him, and got massively over as a babyface with Rusev Day, with Aiden English as well. So the fans like him, and he would make waves, he would make news if Rusev came into AEW, and this is the opportunity. It's a good opportunity, isn't it, to debut people outside of the company like this, is by bringing them in for an open challenge. Cody Rhodes, it's a bit like the John Cena thing, isn't it? The open challenge starts now, music hits, out comes Rusev. I wish, we had fans around because the pop he would get would be massive, but that's the times we're in at the moment. But I think Rusev appearing in AEW is almost a formality at this point. Whether it's to face Cody Rhodes or not, we're just assuming that this is going to be the way to debut people. Maybe he'll come in another way. We'll have to wait and see. Same goes with Zack Ryder. I'm quite hesitant with Zack Ryder coming into AEW because, again, I don't want AEW to make the same mistakes of a WCW, of a TNA, of just getting, hey, he's been released from WWE, let's get him over. We know Zack Ryder's friends with Cody Rhodes, which is important. But I think Zack Ryder will benefit from going to more of an Impact Wrestling or going to an NWA. Because even in AEW, it's not like Zack Ryder's going to come in and be competing for the World Championship. Whereas if he goes in the Impact Wrestling or he goes in an MWA, he's probably going to compete for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, or he's going to be competing for the Impact World title. So maybe that benefits him more. Maybe that makes his name even bigger, and then he can go to an AEW. I just don't think the Zack Ryder straight to AEW is maybe the best move for him. Maybe financially it would be, but I don't think it's probably the best move for him. Or AEW for that matter. They want to be careful with the reputation that they're getting. So other names, Jeff Cobb, obviously appeared for AEW at one point. I don't know if he signed a new deal yet with Ring of Honor or New Japan. You can let me know in the comment section below. Maybe he comes back in for a one-off. Who knows? Great talent, great talent. Marty Scurll. Now, it was thought he was definitely going to go to AEW at one point, wasn't he? I thought he was going to be the Exalted One, maybe. Or, look, he's part of the Elite for many years. He was on being the Elite. He's been teased on being the Elite before, even during this AEW era, when it was thought that him going to AEW was a formality. It didn't happen. He signed a new contract with Ring of Honor, became the booker. But we've seen that Ring of Honor have got a working relationship with NWA now. Who's to say that he doesn't go to Ring of Honor and goes, look, it'd be great publicity for us if I came in, did a one-off match against Cody Rhodes on a Dynamite. I don't have to stay around forever, but the history's there between me and Cody, between me and the Elite. Come in, Ring of Honor gets a plug on TNT. Who knows? Wouldn't be a bad thing. Wouldn't be a bad thing. It's not definitely off the table. What about this one? This one will get people's heads or their eyes rolling. What about Sting? The rumours that Sting is going to sign with AEW have been going on for a while. Maybe Sting comes in for his final match against Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes did a Stinger splash. He did a woo at Double or Nothing. He said that Sting was his favourite wrestler, and he's also said he'd love to stand opposite the ring against Sting. Now, Sting shouldn't be anywhere near having a match, let alone at his age, but also the last time he was in the ring, he was nearly paralysed and could barely walk. I don't know if he's had the surgery to fix the spinal stenosis in his neck. If he has, he won't be wrestling. If he hasn't, he says that he could still do it. I don't think he should. I don't think anyone should be in the ring over the age of 60, let alone with neck issues and spinal stenosis. That stuff is not to be messed around with. But hey, you never know, you never know. So maybe Sting. And a couple other names, a few MLW names I thought as well. Brian Pillman Jr. He appeared at the first Double or Nothing show in a Casino Battle Royal. Maybe he comes in as well. I'd love to see Brian Pillman on TNT once again. Talk about throwback that would be, considering his father all those years was on TNT with WCW. And what about Davey Boy Smith Jr.? Again, he's reinvented himself in MLW. We've seen him in New Japan as well. Great worker. Should have got a better chance in WWE. He's got the size. He's got the ring work. He's a legitimate badass. Part of the Hart family. You can't turn that down. And again, for a one-off, why not? I think, to be honest, he should be in AEW for full-time, but whether or not that would fit with his MLW contract, who knows? But who do you think? Who else could challenge Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship? What do you think of the names I've read out there? Have I missed any? Do you agree with them? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wrestling News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right-hand corner of the screen right now. Or you can go to our channel, look at all the videos we've uploaded to YouTube and subscribe there also. Or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video along with another video for you to watch. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms too. They're on the screen right now. That's at 365Wrestle on Twitter or at WrestleNews365 on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, wherever you come across this video today. And I'm sure I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.